Buying a new construction home is an exciting process, and it's also a very stressful and complicated process. And what complicates things even more is that the builders should tell you certain things, but they don't. Well, in this video, we are going to go over 10 things that the builders will not tell you, but you absolutely need to know if you are thinking about buying a new construction home. So let's get right into it. Number one is hidden incentives. If you've ever gone online to a builder's website, you've most likely seen their advertised incentives. They could be advertising lender incentives like a rate buy down or a super low interest rate like a 3.99% interest rate, or builder incentives for flex cash or money towards your closing costs. These are all actual incentives that you can get, but here's what they're not telling you. Those incentives could be tied to a specific property. For example, they could only be applied towards select homes in the community, and those select homes are usually their more difficult to sell homes. They're advertising to get you into the sales office, and then once you're there, they're hoping that you'll end up liking one of their other homes. The lender incentives are usually given to you only if you use their affiliated lender. So for example, they can give you a $15,000 lender incentive, but it's only good if you use their lender. If you use an outside lender, then you will not get that lender incentive. And what I've seen is that the builder's affiliated lender, they're going to charge you more on their loan fees because they know that you are getting incentives, and those incentives will cover your closing costs, so they can charge you more fees which roll up into your closing costs. So here's what you should do in this situation. You should get a quote from your own lender and then compare the two loan programs to see which one works best for you. Also keep in mind that the fees being charged are negotiable. If you feel like the fees are too high, talk with the lender and negotiate lower lender fees. Lastly, when it comes to incentives, some builders will keep them in their back pocket and they will not disclose all of the available incentives. Here's why they do this. For example, let's say that the sales rep may offer you $40,000 in incentives. However, they're approved to offer you up to $50,000. They know that you are going to negotiate with them, so they want to have some negotiating room in their back pocket. And when buyers get them to go up from $40,000 to $50,000 in incentives, the buyers feel good about it, they feel good about the deal, and they're more likely to get into contract. Now this is actually good for both sides. It is a win-win, but it does feel a little bit shady just because they didn't disclose it to you up front. Moving on, number two is over-promising on amenities. What builders will not tell you is that when they plan a new community, they have these amazing plans for that community. And they could plan on having multiple parks, walking trails, tennis courts, basketball courts, fishing ponds, and an amenity center complete with a clubhouse, a fitness center, and a large room that you can rent out for special events. Unfortunately, not all of those plans will actually pan out, and the homeowners end up getting just a fraction of what was promised. When you're talking to the sales rep during the early phases of construction, they're just passing along information that their management team has told them. Now, it could be their honest plans for the community, but as I mentioned, plans can change, and they often do. The problem is that the HOA dues are set based on the promised amenities. Once the HOA dues are set, I've hardly ever seen them come down when the builder has changed their plans on the community amenities. Here's what you should do when it comes to buying new construction in a new home community, especially if the amenities are really important to you. I have had several families purchase in specific neighborhoods because those neighborhoods had so many amenities, like parks for their kids to play in, a community pool for them all to spend family time together, and a fitness center where they can really focus on their health. So here's what you should do. You should only count on the amenities that are already built. Even if the builder promises that they are going to build more, you can keep that in mind, but know that their plans can change. If you see that they have started construction on the amenities, then you could safely assume that they're going to get completed and that you will have those amenities, but a good rule of thumb is to only count on the amenities that are already existing. And real quickly, now may be a good time for me to introduce myself in case we haven't met before. Hi, my name is Ahmad Homidi. I'm a realtor that specializes in new construction home sales, and my main focus is helping my clients save as much as possible when they buy new construction. I can help you in Austin, Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, and San Antonio. All you need to do is give me a call to get the conversation started. Well, it's great to meet you, and now let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is hidden inventory properties. Builders will sometimes construct too many inventory homes all at once because they had forecasted future sales, and unfortunately, they forecasted incorrectly. And instead of putting them all on the market at the same time, they will slowly release them as more sales happen. And the reason why they do this is to make buyers think that there is limited supply. Builders will say things like, there are only a few inventory homes available and I have a lot of interested buyers. What they're not telling you is that there are only a few inventory homes available right now, but in reality, there's a lot that they just haven't yet released. They want the buyers to feel like they need to make a buying decision now, and unfortunately, this pressure tactic does work. Many buyers will decide to buy homes sooner than they had planned. And I do want to mention that this is usually not the sales rep's fault. They don't control how many homes the builder builds, and they don't control the messaging, but they do work for the builder. The reason why I'm giving that disclaimer is I honestly think that for the most part, the sales agents are doing their best. They are being honest. They want to do what's right for themselves, do what's right for you, and then also what's right for the company that they work for. So they have a lot of different things that they're juggling. But as far as messaging, they have to stay in line with what their management wants them to say. So here's how you can deal with this situation. The easiest thing to do is ask the sales rep if they have homes that are not yet released. Sometimes they'll tell you and sometimes they won't, and this is usually a management decision. But overall, what you can expect is to get some pressure from the new home sales reps. When you walk into the sales office, you should know that you're only going to buy a home when you're ready. If you visit a new home community because you're just looking to get information and you're just getting ready to buy, but you happen to fall in love with one of those inventory homes, you're gonna have to let it go. I don't recommend buying a home until you're absolutely ready. Now, if you are ready and you see the home that's right for you, then there's no reason why you shouldn't buy unless you feel like you're not getting a good deal. In that case, keep negotiating until you find the right home at the right price. Number 4 is community composition. The developer will buy land, create a new community, and then invite various builders to buy out their lots and to sell their respective homes. Now this is good because different builders will have different floor plans and the community will not look cookie cutter. There will be differences in the floor plans and exterior elevations and building materials like the exterior stone, the stucco, the siding, and even the paint colors. And this means that your neighbor's house can look completely different than yours, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. There are some communities where you might have 5, 6, or 7 different builders, and some of those builders can be highly regarded, while some can be low quality builders. This can negatively affect the home's value in your neighborhood, and it can affect how you feel about your neighborhood. Let's imagine that you've saved up to build your dream home and you finally did it. You could have bought a home in the low 400,000s, which is where home values begin in the community, but you bought closer to the higher end. You bought at 700,000 and you love your new 3,500 square foot home, but a few months later, they build 2 small homes right next door. The homes on both sides are from another less reputable builder and they are much smaller. Now all of a sudden, you're not as excited about your new home and you no longer love your community. Now, is this a hidden secret that the builder didn't tell you about? No, not necessarily. There's no way for the builder to know what another builder is going to build on a lot that they don't own. But they're also not going to bring this up to you, which is why I am in this video. The more you know, the more likely it is that you can make a better decision. So here's what you should do. When you visit a new home community, look at all of the builders in that community and ask yourself, how would you feel if one of those builders constructed a home right next door to you? If you feel good about it, then you've found the right community. If you don't, then you might want to keep on looking. Or you can choose to build on a lot where a home that you like is already constructed next door. This way you'll know for sure that you're going to like the home that's next to you, and you'll feel better about where your home is located, and you will like your community, and that's super important. Number 5 is have your own representation. Here's what the builders will not tell you. They hire super friendly, knowledgeable sales reps for the most part. I've worked with some really amazing sales reps who have been kind, knowledgeable, and on top of everything. But if things ever do get testy, who would the sales rep side with? Would they side with you or with the builder? Of course, they're going to side with the company that they work for, the company that pays them, the company that gave them their job. The sales reps are supposed to befriend you and guide you through the process, but in the end, they work for the builder and they do not represent you. That's why it's so important for you to work with your own agent and have your own representation. When it comes to new construction, there is so much to know about, and not knowing some of these important details can cost you so much money. For that reason, I always recommend reaching out to a real estate agent who specializes in new construction and then getting them involved from the very beginning. Let them help you to find the right community, let them help you to get into the right property, and also to negotiate the best deal for you. And I totally get how this may be coming across. I'm a realtor, and of course I'm going to tell you to work with a realtor. But I honestly feel good about this because I can demonstrate the value that I bring, and I know that there are other agents out there that do a phenomenal job. Here's a great example of some of the value that I bring. Recently, I had buyers reach out to me. They had been watching my YouTube videos and they decided to give me a call. They wanted to build a new luxury home and they had already selected their floor plan and their lot. They had met with the builder and they had started negotiating already. When they called me, they said that they were getting a really good deal and they wanted to know if I could get them a better deal. The builder was offering a total incentive of $100,000 and they had negotiated a total savings of $150,000 in incentives, which was already a phenomenal deal. They hired me as their agent and I got to work on negotiating on their behalf. The negotiations lasted for 5 weeks. There was a lot of back and forth and a lot of me just insisting that the sales agent ask the management for approval of the offer that we had submitted. Remember, they had already negotiated a total savings of $150,000, but when it was all said and done, I was able to get them a total savings of $250,000. They saved $100,000 more because they hired me. And it's not just the savings that I want to highlight. During the negotiations and drafting of the purchase contract, there were several mistakes that the sales rep had made, which I caught and had fixed. Those mistakes would have been costly to my clients, and I can only imagine what would have happened if I wasn't there to catch them. So my point is this: there are real estate agents out there that truly care about their clients. They are professionals who love what they do, and they do it with a passion. Find one of those agents and work with one of them. They're going to guide you through the entire process, and they're going to make buying new construction so much easier for you. Let's move on to number 6 on the list of things that the builder will not tell you. Number 6 is the homeowners association. Most planned communities will come with an HOA, and there are people who appreciate HOAs because they keep all of the homeowners in line, while there are people who absolutely hate HOAs, and I get both sides of the argument. Well, usually the builder will let you know that there is an HOA, but they're not going to disclose all of the HOA rules, and that's because it's a new community, it's a new HOA, and the rules are all new, so the builder might not actually even be aware of what the rules are. So they're not purposefully hiding anything from you, they just don't know them yet. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't like HOAs, but you are considering buying new construction, then here's what you need to do. Ask the builder for the CC&Rs. That is the conditions, covenants, and restrictions. This is the HOA documentation on everything that you can and cannot do. It's a long, boring document, how the HOA operates, and then it lists out all the things that you can and can't do. I have had clients who were looking to buy new construction in a community with acre lots, and because the lots were so big, the buyers thought they would have more freedom to do what they wanted to do on their land, and they wanted to raise chickens. The HOA would not allow the homeowners to raise chickens in that community, so they ended up not buying there. I actually lost a sale because of chickens and the HOA. Thankfully, I'm still working with those buyers, and it's just a matter of time until we find the right community and we find the right house. Number 7 is the builder's contract. When you're negotiating with a sales rep on a new construction property, the entire negotiating process is usually done outside of a contract. The contract is written once you've come to an agreement, which means that the first time that you're going to see a builder's contract is after you've agreed to pricing and incentives. Now, after all of those negotiations, what if you don't like what's in the contract? Well, it's the builder's contract, and unfortunately, there's not much that you can do to change what's on the contract. It's written by the builder's attorneys, and it's designed to protect the builder. Now, just because you can't change the contract doesn't mean that you shouldn't know what's in the contract. You should take the time to read through it and fully understand it. You should know about the deposit schedule, how much is due and when they're due. You should know if there is a contingency or an option period, and if there is, how long is it good for? You should know what happens to the deposit if you decide to back out. These are all super important questions to ask and to know, and they should be laid out clearly in the contract. Now, when it comes to builder contracts, usually the builder will have a grace period where they can extend the closing, or they can even close earlier. However, you can't request for the builder to hurry up the construction and get done sooner. They're just not going to do it. They're going to do it based on their time frame. And you can't ask for them to extend the construction period. For example, if you're renting out a property and your lease comes to an end in 12 months, you can't say, hey, I want the building process to take 12 months so that the home is built right when my lease is up. They're not going to do that. They're going to construct the home based on their time frame. However, if you cause a delay to closing, there could be penalties. So read over the contract and know if there are penalties being charged for being late or causing a delay. Can the builder cancel the transaction? Usually, if the builder is dealing with a very difficult customer, there is a clause in the contract that allows the builder to cancel the agreement at their discretion. They usually don't do this, but from time to time, they will deal with some really difficult buyers and they will cancel the transaction. Usually in those cases, they give the buyers back their money just so that they no longer have to deal with those difficult buyers. You should find out in the contract if you can make changes to the structural or design selections after those selections have already been made. Usually, once the structural selections are made, you cannot make any future changes. As for the design selections, the contract may state that it might be possible to make changes to the design selections, but there could be a change fee associated with those changes. So it can cost you to make any future changes. Overall, just read through the contract several times and make sure that you know what you're signing. Number 8 is property taxes. Now, the good thing about living in Texas is that we do not have state income taxes, but we do unfortunately have really high property taxes. Property taxes can vary from county to county, city to city, and even from community to community. And I've seen the property tax rates vary from 1.6% all the way up to 3.3%. When you buy new construction, it may be possible that the last time the property was assessed, it was just land. So the assessed value is based on the land value. And since then, the builder has constructed a house on that land and has sold it to you. So when you go to pay for your taxes for that first year, you may be paying taxes based only on the land value. Then the following year, once the land and the house get assessed, the assessed value of your property is going to go way up and you'll pay taxes based on the new updated assessed value. This is something that builders are not always going to disclose to you, simply because it's not something that comes up in discussion until you're at the closing table and you're ready to sign the closing papers. So it gets disclosed to you, but all the way at the end of the transaction. If you're buying an inventory home and it's fully constructed and it's been on the market for a while, it's possible that it's been fully assessed, which is going to help you to avoid any surprise tax increases in your future tax bill. Another pro tip is to make sure that you file your homestead exemption, which is going to help lower your property taxes. Number 9 is model homes are not realistic. Most builders use model homes to showcase their properties. What the builders will not always tell you is that often they use products or design elements that they don't even offer. So if you go to their design center, you can't even get some of the items that are being showcased in the model homes. So in essence, there's actually no way to get your home to look like their model homes, even if you build the same exact floor plan. Most model homes have hundreds of thousands of dollars in upgrades, and the standard items that are showcased in the model homes are sometimes no longer available, or they're not being offered as standard items, and those items now come at a premium. Basically, long story short, when it comes to model homes, always ask the sales rep which items are standard and which items are upgraded. But even better is ask if the builder has an inventory home of the floor plan that you are interested in building. The inventory home is going to be a better representation of what your home will actually end up looking like. And number 10 is future development around your new home community. Always ask the builder if they know about any future development around the community, especially if you are buying a home around the outer edges of that community. You want to be aware of what can potentially be built around you. For example, if the city is planning on building a new library or a park or a shopping center nearby, that might help to improve your home's value within that community. But if they're building warehouses or storage facilities, or they're widening nearby freeways, this might make the community less desirable. I've had clients interested in a certain lot all the way in the back of the community because it had a great view. But when we asked the builder if they knew about any future development, they mentioned that the trees at the back of that community, they were going to be cut down to allow for construction of a small shopping center. That changed the buyer's plans quickly, and they ended up buying in another community. So just imagine if we liked the lot, we liked the view, and we bought it, but we never asked about any future development. A year or two, I'd probably get a call from those buyers. They would be upset, and they would probably be asking me why I never asked about any future developments. So it's always a good idea to know what's going to be built around your community. It's going to help you to decide whether you're going to enjoy the day-to-day living of your community. If they're building shopping nearby, that's going to help you to enjoy it. If they're building a park nearby, that's going to help you enjoy that community more. But if they're building industrial or warehouses, if they're building anything that's going to add more traffic to your community, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. So in this case, I always recommend you ask the sales rep. Sometimes they are going to know, other times they're not. You can also ask your realtor. It's possible that if you're working with a very knowledgeable realtor who knows what's going on in that community, they may know the answer. And if they don't, you can always check with the city. All right, well, this ended up being a really long video, but I wanted you to be aware of the things that the builders don't always tell you. I hope that you did find the information in this video to be helpful. And if you did, please do like the video and subscribe to this channel. In fact, the whole point of this channel is to showcase some of Texas's best new construction homes and to show you how to save money when you buy new construction. My name is Ahmad Homidi. I would love the opportunity to work with you, so give me a call. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.